Hello and welcome. This is So It Goes, the MTB Productions, brought to you by UR Designs. I'm Carson Harper. No Monty today. He's working. We got a big-time episode today. Point guard, Niagara University basketball, number 21, Noah Thomasson. How are you today?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on.
So, obviously, big announcement on Instagram lately. Kind of bring us through that. What's going on?
I had a good season this year, 19 points a game, and after we had a tough loss against Iona in Atlantic City, I got a lot of feedback, and they're telling me maybe I should enter an NBA draft. It was one of the weaker drafts this year at the point guard level, so we decided to go on and get the paperwork and get it done.
Nice. Has this been something you've been thinking about through your collegiate career, or just kind of come up on you lately?
It's always been a dream for me to play in the NBA. I think that's everybody's basketball dream that's doing it at this level. I didn't realize I was this close. And like I said, having a good season, people are telling me they're watching, scouts are watching. So I said, why don't I see where I fall at in the draft?
That's pretty dope. Now you declare, but you keep your eligibility for the NCAA. What's kind of the next steps? What are you doing now?
Just working out every day, just trying to stay in shape. Just being ready whenever my name is called to go work out for teams, and just making sure everything is ready to go. That's
sweet. So, give us a little background of your collegiate basketball career, coming from Houston. How'd you end up at Niagara?
It's quite an interesting story. I played high school ball in Houston, the Richmond area. I committed to Houston Baptist, so now it's Houston Christian University. Things didn't work out for us well. We won 4 games that year. It was a tough year for me. COVID hit, and then I decided to transfer to Butler Community College. Shout out Coach Fiss. My guys there in El Dorado, Kansas, and just had a good year. And with COVID going on, you don't know what's going on, but I had a good year, and here in Niagara, Coach Kevin Devitt, which is on our staff now, he's associate head coach. He actually recruited me out of high school at his former job at UAB. So he gave me the call when I was there and just told me, hey man, we need a point guard, and it made sense. I'd never been in New York before I got here, and I didn't really need to come here. I trusted them, and it potentially all worked out for me. So
sweet. Now, you're not your average kind of dish it out point guard watching you play. What do you think's like the strength of your game?
I think I can do it all. Last year, if you watched our games, I was more of, facilitator, get guys involved. We had a good scorer, Marcus Hammett, played his last year at Notre Dame. It just depends on whatever my role is. This year they needed me to score more, than what I did last year. So I guess it's just more creating for my teammates, creating for me as well. I know that when I get downhill, get to the basket, a lot of good things happen. So that's really it. My strength is just, trying to make plays at all times.
Cool. Now, communications major.
Right.
What's kind of some other things that you've been interested in, at least academically or other than basketball?
I've been trying to get into, multiple internships, things like that. Outside of basketball, I know one day it's got to stop bouncing. I've thought about getting into broadcasting, different things like that, being a sports analyst. I know that I love sports, and I don't want to, just stop dealing with sports even after I'm done playing. So why not do something with sports? And, it's something I've thought about since I was actually a child. So, hopefully it works out for me.
Pretty sweet. Now, are there any sort of special talents that you have that most people may not know about you?
No, not really special talents. I'm just a simple guy, man. I just, go to school, play basketball, play the game sometimes with my friends. I actually don't even have a game system, but I'm pretty good at it. So, no special talents for me, man.
All right. So let's say ideally it's draft night. We got first 2 rounds have gone by. Okay. We're looking for a 3rd, 4th rounder. Who do you think's calling your phone?
I have no idea, man. Idea spot, probably the Raptors, since we're so close. It's easy for them to get to see me. It's easy for me to get up there to work out, Cavaliers, teams like that. Probably just a team that's looking for a guy that's going to defend, do the right things and make the right plays. So probably anybody. I know that I won't be a first rounder just because of the level I played at this past year. It's one of those things, if they call my name, I'm ready to go into somebody's camp and go earn a spot for the most part. So
yeah. Now, across all sports, the MAC gets gritty, right? A lot of teams are very good.
Right.
So what's it like playing MAC basketball compared to like the big D1s, the Power Fives?
It's like a gauntlet, man. Like, it's tough every night. I tell the guys all the time, we had a new team this year that hadn't really experienced that, and I said, man, it's never really a game that's going to be a blowout. It's always going to be a 1-possession, 2-possession game. So it's physical. It's a dogfight every single night. It doesn't matter if you're playing the worst team or the best team. Anybody can beat anybody. In my 2 years here, I've seen, we went in and beat Iona. It was 11-0 last year.
Mm-hmm.
They had won every single game, and we snuck up on them and beat them on a Sunday. And then, Siena is a really good team every year. They go down and lose the Canisius at home by 20. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. You never know what's going to happen. So that's what I love about this league. It's a tough league. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at it this year. Marist played in the championship game. They're 11 seed. It doesn't matter what the seeds are. It's just good coaching, good players all across the board.
Yeah. Now, we've seen JUCO routes be very popular in baseball. In basketball, the draft is very similar. But that's not usually what people do when they play D1. What do you have to say about your JUCO route?
Like I said, I entered the transfer portal as a freshman. I didn't have the numbers, that just spoke out and just caught people's eye. So I looked at it, and the thought process was I want to go somewhere where I can play, be comfortable, and get better for the next 8 months, before I go to my next school. So, I had never thought about going to junior college. People don't think about doing that, but I will say it's great basketball. The Jayhawk Conference, where I played at in Kansas, is one of the best leagues in the country. I mean, every year it's going to be 3 teams, 4 teams, top 25 in the country at the JUCO level. It's a grind, man. You have to stay focused. It's not as structured as it is here, so you can easily fall in the cracks of being with the wrong crowd. So you have to be disciplined, and it's good basketball. So I advise people, man, if the Division I level doesn't work out for young freshmen, take that junior college route for a year, get more mature, get better, and get your game to a different level.
Yeah. Now, being from Houston, coming up to Niagara, there had to have been a little bit of culture shock.
Oh, of course. I mean, people here make it easy. Obviously, snow. That's the biggest thing. I had never seen snow until I got here. So, when I got here, I didn't have a coat. I didn't have, boots and all the stuff you need. So, they took care of me here. But like I said, the fans, the community, they made it easier for me. It made it feel like home. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Friday nights in the Gallagher Center. What's it like? Kind of bring me into that atmosphere.
Oh, it's a beautiful sight, man. Like I tell people, this is one of the best home crowds in America. You can feel it, man. Like we get in the gym at 5:30. There's nobody in there. Then about 6:45, people start coming in, and then right from tip off, the crowd is like the sixth man on the floor. If someone creates, I remember we playing Quinnipiac and Aaron dunks it real hard, and it's a timeout called, and the arena starts shaking. We don't have the biggest arena in the country, but it's small, so it's compact. You're gonna feel it every single night, and the fans are ruthless here, man. If we're playing bad basketball, they might boo us and let us hear about it. But if we're playing really good basketball, they become like another teammate on the floor. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. Now, watching the team this season, you could see a lot of camaraderie, kind of guys fighting for each other. What was that like in the locker room?
I mean, it's just great vibes, man. When it's all new guys, you don't know what to expect. So as long as you got your teammates, you got each other's backs, it's like, let's go out here and let's fight against anybody, man. We've been through tough times. We've lost. It's been times we lost 5 in a row. We've won 5 in a row, then we lost 4 again. But, we just always find a way to bounce back. And that's a credit to our coaches as well. It's not just the team. But, it's easy to go out there and play when you got your brother behind your back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of your coaching tree, GP, tell me a little about Greg Paulus and kind of the mastermind behind the whole crew.
I mean, he's a great guy. Not just even a basketball coach. Speaking just as his personality. I've been here 2 years, and he almost can kind of tell when things aren't really going my way. I'm down and about or upset about something. He'll pull me in the office, and we'll talk, and then stuff starts working back out again. But from the X's and O's standpoint, man, he's a genius. He's one of the best young coaches in the business, and I know in a couple years he's going to get a big time job. Niagara won't be able to keep him. But I think he's either the best coach in the league. You have Patino this year, and I think you give him some talent, you give him some guys that are willing to play. He can do something special.
Yeah, nice. Now you said your role switched a little bit this year. Do you think it kind of like exposed parts of your game that people didn't realize you had? Like, what do you think's an underrated part of your game?
That I can really shoot the ball. Last year I was, like I said, creating more plays. You started to see it towards the end of the year. I had some big games, but this year I was kind of surprised at some of the shots I would make at times. I would look at my coach and like the fans and like, hey, I didn't know I was gonna make that one. But just really getting me out of my comfort zone. I'm a guy that's doesn't like to take those daredevil plays. But this year it was one of the things like I have the leash to do it. I might as well do it. it'd be times in the game where I'm like, maybe the crowd seems a little dead. Let me make a good move and hit a shot real quick to get the crowd going into it. And I had the ability to make those shots. So, like I said, man, the roles change all the time. 1 year you can be a scorer, and the next year, you might not be able to get that role. We might bring in somebody that can really score. So, I think I liked it a lot, though. So leading the conference and scoring was a big thing for me. So
yeah. Now it's a little weird going down to Atlantic City. It's kind of everyone in one area. What's that like, that tournament?
It's a lot of pressure. One possession can end your season. So I think it's nerve-wracking the first game. Then after you win, then it's like, okay, we have a chance to really do it. But every possession counts. It's physical. It's slower. Teams aren't scoring nearly as much as they do in the regular season because think about it, you played a team probably 3 or 4 times, and now you know the team, you know what everybody can do. So now it's just about, who take care of the ball and who's the tougher team, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. So growing up, obviously we make this big decision here. We're kind of living out a childhood dream. Who did you look up to as a kid?
Being a Rockets fan, Tracy McGrady, and that was the first kind of guy that I really got to see up close. Obviously Yao Ming, he was really good too. LeBron James is my favorite player, but Tracy McGrady was the first that I got to really see, play, my first game I've ever been to. And that kind of just, gave me passion for basketball. So,
yeah. So getting ready for the draft, we got NBA analysis talking about you, hyping you up. Who do you think your player comp is going to end up being?
Well, obviously everybody says James Harden. I'm left-handed. I got the beard going. I don't think, I kind of don't like those comparisons because I'm not, I don't think it's respectful for me to be compared to a great person like that. He's a generation type talent. I think, more guys like Drew Holiday, a two-way guy, can score, defend the ball, facilitate, do whatever, coach needs you to do. So I'd rather hear a comparison like that than James Harden, just a guy that can score the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Being a point guard, you're kind of like a quarterback of an offensive defense. Have you kind of always played point guard? Was this kind of a later thing in life?
I've been playing ball since I was 4 years old. I've been playing select basketball since I was 8. Starting off, I was taller than everybody, so I was never a point guard. But my mother always drilled to the coaches like, he's not going to be that tall. She's short, my dad's short, so we knew I wasn't going to be 6'8" or 6'9". Yeah. So it was something around the time I was 12, 13. That's when I really started to understand the position and understand the importance of being a point guard. You have to be the coach on the floor, like you said, the quarterback on the floor. But probably around 13 was when I picked it up, and then ever since I've been a point guard everywhere.
Sweet. Noah Thomasson, any closing remarks?
Just shout out to everybody here in Niagara Falls. I love the city. I love the university. I love the school. I appreciate you for having me on here. So, yeah, it's really
Thank you for coming. This is So It Goes. I'm Carson Harper, Noah Thomasson. Peace, love, tranquility, and go Bills.